details in there, as
Really?
can be seen in Pittsburgh.
A Pittsburgh throwback. What a great segue. We have a question from Jeff.
Oh,
We got
is
Jeff
it?
on the phone. Jeff, you have a question for Mr. Havok, do you? Hey, Jeff.
Jeff, did you leave?
Jeff, I think I hear you, though. I hear something in the background. I'll ask this question for him. Jeff was curious. So, Davey, when are you coming to Pittsburgh?
Well, Jeff and Doctor, I do not know. Unless, of course, I'm usually unaware of where the tours end. So, unless, of course, the AFI Gallagher Smashing Pumpkins tour is going to Pittsburgh. Which it may be. Taylor, do you know that? We're going to check. The internet also knows the answer to this question.
I think Davey's also hypnotizing me with his cup.
Oh, yeah, things are going to change. Just watch the cup.
You're like, your tone slowed down.
We're going to talk about freeze.
The cup started swirling. I was having flashbacks to the movie Get Out, you know, the sunken place. Oh, shoot. Five sums two, Davey? Promise. Promise. It's like it's Christmas.
Oh, this is going to be wild.
Can we turn the cameras off?
Keep the cameras off.
Sorry. So guess what? It is time to slide into the DMs. Sliding into the DMs is brought to you by our friends at Trojan Condoms because it's a big old sexy world and we want you to explore with confidence. Mr. Havok, are you ready? Or Dr. Havok, I should say.
Oh, I'm a doctor now?
You are.
Sworn in.
I'm swearing you in. Here we go. Hey, Dr. Chris. So my boyfriend and I have been together approximately 6 years. Things have slowed down a little in the bedroom. Demanding. In the past, when I asked if he could see us marrying, he said yes, but not before we settled into life. 2 weeks ago, I was thinking we could spice things up in the bedroom and asked if we could consider bringing in another woman for a threesome. I thought he'd be excited and jump at the opportunity to sleep with another woman. He said no. And later asked why I was being distant. He said that, later I asked why he was being distant. He said that he was a bit disgusted that I would suggest a threesome. He said that he would never want to bring another person into the relationship.
Okay.
I asked him yesterday where we were headed, and he said he didn't know. Have I ruined my relationship?
The language disgusted is what made me react
That's
that
intense.
way, because that is a very, the choice of that term is a little unsettling, a little unnerving. Disgusted seems to imply moral questioning. However, perhaps your boyfriend, who are we talking to?
This woman's boyfriend. We don't get names.
We
on
don't get
this.
names.
Yeah.
Miss.
Ma'am.
Miss. For me, I would presume that if, though not articulated, that the boyfriend loves you and would not feel comfortable watching you have sex with someone else.
So did she ruin the relationship?
I mean, hopefully not.
Could you imagine if a relationship of 6 years ends over someone expressing a possible interest?
Hopefully not. I mean, the situation seems to be based on communication. We don't really know what he's feeling. That's the thing that makes it difficult. And it's when we're sliding into DMs and not having a live conversation.
That's right. These kids these days will not pick up the phone.
And we do not know truly what the boyfriend feels.
Right.
We do not know truly what she feels. Like, is she suggesting this because she feels she's giving him a treat? It sounds that way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm bringing you a present. Oh, no, I want to leave you, but I just wanted to be present. He might be thinking, well, I think you just want to have sex with other people. It's difficult. So I would say, with my experience of
All your
all my medical school and training, that ask him why it makes him uncomfortable, and reassure him that if this is the case, reassure him that you love him and it's not about needing something that he can't give you, but if this was your goal, giving him something that he would enjoy, and giving you both something that you feel could further your relationship.
Beautiful answer.
Rather than bring it back.
I co-sign on that.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah, that's right. You got another one. Hey. Just
Hi.
a hey.
Hey.
So I listen to your podcast very often. Thank you. Your last post had me really thinking. I understand you should never freak out about what your significant other is liking on social media, but what if you find them requesting nudes and sexting with others? Where would you draw the line on that being acceptable, and is that considered cheating?
Is it considered cheating? Wow.
Oh, we got a response in the back here.
Wow.
Your
Was it-
manager is shaking her head no.
Yeah,
She's
it's
shutting
not.
it down.
It is not cheating.
Not cheating, but also not acceptable if they are choosing to be monogamous.
Exactly, that's it.
Well, and
it
that's,
depends
and that's
on the
exactly
terms
what it
of the
is.
relationship.
And you know what's interesting is too many couples don't have a conversation if they choose monogamy of what that even means.
Right.
And I'll say to some of my clients, well, what are the boundaries? And they'll say, well, he knows better. I'm like, oh, no,
No, he
please
doesn't.
don't play that game.
No.
Be vulnerable and intimate and talk about what those boundaries mean.
It's interesting with my lack of of relationships.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see how rarely people communicate within the relationships.
Right.
Generally, it seems to me out of fear
Yeah.
for not wanting to lose the relationship. I think a lot of the times it would be more beneficial to communicate how you truly feel and end the relationship early on before stakes get raised.
Beautiful.
So have that communication. In this instance, it sounds like the person who has written is not comfortable with the significant other having sex outside the relationship. That person is not cheated by requesting this, but the behavior
Yeah.
is problematic and shows that they're looking for something more than is being given in that relationship or what they're receiving from that
And on that
relationship.
topic, I have to imagine that you have a lot of people sliding into your DMs with all sorts of stuff.
I wouldn't know, to be honest.
Oh, that's right, because you're not running your social media.
Okay,
right?
well, that's
oh,
not
sorry.
accurate.
Okay, reeling that back in. Reeling that back in.
That's
You were
not
there.
accurate.
you were attentive. Yes.
The Davey Havok stuff is me, but if you watch it, you'll see
Right.
that it is a rare occurrence that there's
That's what I
something that
noticed.
there's a lot of activity going on there, and I have on occasion looked at the DMs, and it's just this row of daunting strangers. So I tend to
Stay out of it. Trust me.
unless-
Take a lesson from me. I started digging in deep, and it's a whole lot. All right, we got Sliding to DMs is brought to you by Trojan Condoms because it's a big old sexy world, and we want you to explore with confidence. We're going to jump on the phones again.
Let's do
We
it.
got to piling up. We got to pile
Live.
up. All right, who we have on phone? Oh, Jeff.
Jeff.
You're on with Dr. Chris and Davey Havok.
Jeff.
You are.
Jeffrey. Yes, this is great. Did I notice? Yeah. Mm. Oh, wow. Thank you. The mixed messages. The mixed messages.
It's a little come here, go away, right?
I had someone-
We call that borderline.
I couldn't understand why a young lady was flipping me off at the last
Yeah.
Black Audio show. I mean, I would have been flipping off too. I was talking so much instead of singing, which is what I wanted to be doing. But anyways, I digress. Jeff, thank you for the permanent homage.
He's with you forever.
Wow, there's a lot of A5. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Man, thank you. Well, I mean, I appreciate that, if something I may give you some sort of comfort in that time, it's very difficult. Thank you. Hey. that'd be
Thanks,
wonderful.
Jeff, so much
Thank
for
you,
the
Jeff.
call. You have an awesome night.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
But that's going to be really stunning, though, that you get to be a part of people's lives to that depth.
I mean, it's really shocking, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, it is to have something I created have that sort of impact on someone, for people to be able to take what they need and have it affect them in a positive way is riveting and really gratifying.
We're with Davey Havok. We're going to take a little break. You're listening to Loveline with Dr. Chris on the new channel Q and radio.com. All right, we're back, and tonight we're hanging out with Mr. Havok. What's going on?
Doctor, just dancing.
Yeah, you are. You're getting down. It's like club night here tonight.
John,
What are you drinking?
I'm only dancing. Not whiskey.
I know that's right.
Tea. I was concerned about the tea. It tasted like it had sugar in it, but it doesn't. Taylor confirmed, no sugar.
Oh, you don't do sugar.
I am on the wagon. To say that I never eat sugar would be untrue. I wish I could say I never eat sugar, but I will go for bouts of time
That's what I do.
staying off sugar.
Changes your life.
It does.
I don't get colds. I don't get sick. My immune system's going strong.
Inflammatory,
And then you fall
then
off, and I'm down.
Your skin.
That's right. Well, we're not going to get into that. But sick. I was just doing.
You don't like
sick
us.
stuff.
You don't like us skinny.
No, we're just not getting into the body talk.
Oh, okay. We're not going to get it. We can do that for a long time.
All right, we're going to the phone lines.
We're healthy.
Yes. We got M on the phone. M's been waiting. Let's bring M on. M, what's going on? You're on Davey Havok. What's going on?
Hi, Em. Did you say criminality? Oh, okay. Hit me. Yep. I just cleansed my closet. Okay, so do you want me to reply one at a time or both? Okay, thank you. Hit me with the other. Yeah. Oh. Well, I mean, that's really kind of you. I appreciate your interest in music that I like.
It's like a playlist.
You know,
Playlist.
I'm a very private person. I always have been. It's a very difficult thing to me to exist anymore because I really grew up in a culture where people were, relatively private, and intimacies and looks into people's private lives were only for the intimates and not for the public. So it is rare for me to want to unsolicited share anything about myself. Yet when we are on the air with the doc and we're talking about that, I will mention that I was listening to Coil in Current 93.
Right.
And so if you ask, I a lot of things I'll be happy to tell you. So to answer that question, yeah, of late I listen to proto-industrial and neo-folk. And as far as my closet goes, I actually did just get rid of about a third of my wardrobe, if not half, because unfortunately my closet is not as large as I'd like it to be. And I needed the space, so it was a difficult thing to part with. But I actually have no regrets. There isn't anything that so far that I've looked back and miss. But in my closet would be something that I would at least be very fluent in discussing, because I have a shopping issue.
Do you really?
I was shopping I was out dancing last night. I was sitting on the couch buying things.
You're that guy. Click.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
It's bad.
People think you're like flirting. You're like, no, I'm shopping.
No, yeah, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm talking to Andrew Mulemeester and Rick Owens. Hey, Rick.
Yeah, that's good stuff, though.
Right, I said talk to him.
I'm a big Rick Owens fan.
So-
Yeah, it's the color story.
Oh, I'm
Look,
actually not
we're
wearing any
black and white twins, though. Like, we're literally.
It's shockingly not.
You can't see us, but me and Dave are literally both in black and white only. Oh, on what is it? You can say out
We
loud.
Are Channel Q Live.
Oh, on the We Are Channel Q page, you can see us live right now.
Yes,
And
you
you'll
can
see that
us.
we are black and white twins, although I'm a little more covered.
We are monochrome right now. Yep. Yes.
So thanks for your question.
I appreciate
Thanks
those
so much.
claims.
It's always interesting to see what people are interested in hearing about.
It is.
Like what percolates in their mind.
It's
So
wild.
put on the music and the words. But I get it. I mean, those are really.
Those are the things I'm
Yeah.
interested in as well. Music and wardrobe.
But that's what I saw on
and
your
films.
Instagram. I mean, that's one of the things I noticed. It's a very well curated page with the
thanks.
colors and the shots.
Thank you.
And on your Twitter, Twitter's one of the first places I go to try to understand what people are thinking. And yours is very music
Silent.
specific. That's the kind way of saying it. I said music specific.
Yeah,
but
it is
silent.
music. It is silent.
Still judging, yeah.
Again, I also, as you can see, I don't have a difficulty expressing myself. I will talk for a long time. So I also really go out of my way to regulate myself to not get caught up in oversharing, which I could do and I don't want to do.
No, I noticed that in the interviews you've given, though, in print as well, is that you're very thoughtful with what you say and what you're thinking, and it's not extraneous.
I hope
It's very
so.
specific.
Try
It's
not
very
to.
containing.
Oh, that's kind.
When we come back, I want to talk about some of the quotes that I pulled out. But they're all good. They're not the zingers. There's some people that pull out some quotes and they're like, yikes, yeah, I did say that. But yours are good. I want to just dig a little deeper in your
Well,
politics.
I wasn't drunk because I don't drink, so.
There it is. There it is. That's what saves you. The straight edge is what saves you.
It's true. It could save us all. You hear
All
that?
right, you're listening to Loveline with Dr. Chris on the new channel, QRadio.com. When we come back, we're going to be digging deeper into Mr. Havok. See you back.
You guys.
Mr. Havok. I'm sorry, we're lost in food talk.
I was going to confess.
Wait, no, I need to hear this confession.
I was at Coachella and I was in the food area. I think it was maybe it was after Ariana things were closing, and I was going to get these delicious tacos that my friend Victor makes. He has a place in Koreatown. Oh God, you're going to give me an account. Oh, I think it's 86. I think it's called 86 or 1986. And the boys, they were wonderful. They make these vegan tacos that are mushroom based that are truly a 10 out of 10. I'm not exaggerating.
Okay.
They're wonderful. They were out of the mushroom pizza, so they're out of the mushroom tacos. So I stood in a line for Pizzanista, which is a vegan-friendly pizza line. And when I got to the front of the line after an hour starving, they had two options. One was not vegan, and the other one was macaroni and cheese pizza.
Vegan macaroni and cheese pizza?
Correct.
Oh, that's heaven. Oh, that's heaven.
It is something that in my adult life I would never
Put together?
ever order.
Oh.
I was starving. I ordered it. I did it then 3 times over the course of 2 weekends.
I believe
It was delicious. It felt like the slice weighed about 7 pounds.
It's just a ball of dough.
It was so good. I mean, to me, that does not sound good, but what it translates to is like a baked macaroni on a pile of bread with marinara. I mean, yeah, but I'm thinking like Kraft and grape soda and Wonder Bread. You know, when you hear macaroni and cheese, I'm thinking like, this is just filthy.
No.
And it is, but it was not like that, and it was delicious. And I ate that macaroni and cheese pizza. Oh, I did.
I'm proud of you. And you went back 2 more times. I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
I just beat myself down in the desert sun.
We don't need to do that. We don't need to body shame ourselves.
Well, it's
for
not
enjoying
good for you. What we ate is not healthy. What we ate is not
Here
healthy.
I am
so
trying
it's
to
clear.
uplift him and support him and just allowing himself some leeway, and he's got to go back and shame himself.
You let
We'll
me
circle
shame
back.
myself.
We'll talk about that at the gym.
I was raised
'Cause
Catholic.
I'm your
Give
new
me a
personal
break.
trainer. So we'll talk about this. So can we get deep for a minute?
Okay.
Not that we have it.
What is this?
Plenty of time
The
for
sponsor
fun.
is Trojans?
The sponsor is Trojans, yes, because it's a big old sexy world out there, and we want you to explore with confidence.
I'm confident.
Thank you.
Let's go deep.
So let's talk for a second. I'm one of those people, weigh in on your thought about this before I even make the assumption. So what are your thoughts on the topic of the responsibility of people with a platform to use their platform in some kind of political transformative way? Are you one of those people that thinks, if you are in the media spotlight, do something meaningful?
I think do something meaningful. Certainly, if you're in the media. Well, it depends on what the media is. I mean, that was my first reaction. The responsibility. I think that people who have a responsibility are the people who are in the public light who have accepted that responsibility.
Okay.
With the exception of reaching a point where your pop saturation coming out of art in some format is so huge that you are looked to for those reasons by the majority of people.
Okay.
I mean, it seems that in modern culture today, people do look at huge sports celebrities and huge pop celebrities for guidance.
That's right.
Even though that wasn't their choice. So if I feel that at a point, if you fall into that category, I still don't think it's your responsibility because you didn't ask for it, but I think it would be great if you said something positive in that position.
Okay.
But as far as art in general, yes, say something true and say something honest and act towards something positive. But specifically, you're not. Say something. Please say something and do something.
Okay.
But
Because not everyone even does that piece.
Yeah, okay.
And
That's that's subjective. That's not objective because you can take pop music for instance. On the surface, it's vacuous, but it does provide something. And even it's hard for me to relate a lot of the times because when I look at very basic concepts, to me those concepts are so de rigueur, so obvious that they are vacuous. When in fact, I think. And pop music is testament to this, and pop culture and what people consume. I think a lot of people many people have different level of mindfulness and perception,
100%.
and so basic concepts are sometimes new too.
And I love that because there, in the world I come from, there's high theory and low theory,
Right.
and low theory has a beautiful value where some cartoons are a beautiful entry point for some people to really discuss important topics.
Exactly.
And I've sent some clients to watch some cartoons that in a really beautiful way can articulate things to people that can't understand a higher level of verbiage or perspective, and so I love that.
But so do I, and I have so much respect for those creators because oftentimes those are high theory people
That's
making
right.
low
That's
theory
right.
art. Not all the time. Sometimes.
There's always those exceptions.
Sometimes
Yes.
it's like, well, you're speaking from the heart.
And that came up in one of the interviews that you were talking about your book, where someone asked you something about, oh, well, it's fiction, and so are you really in there? And your response was something along the lines like, well, of course.
Yeah,
of course, I'm woven into everything.
Yeah, I can't help it. I can't. I wish I could. I wish I had the ability to separate myself and my identity and my perception from creation.
Why?
Because I could create more. You know, when I try to, it's so difficult for me. I've tried to write with pop writers and pop artists, and it's hard for me. The reaction I remember. You remember Cruella?
Of course.
I went in with a writing session with them, and the two ladies and I went to a different quarter and wrote a top line over a piece of music. And
A top line being?
Being the melody, the singing that you hear.
Okay.
So the melody and a scratch lyric, and to exhibit that melody. And I was trying so hard to write something pop sensible, and we each came back and sang a cappella our parts, and I sang mine, and they're like, oh my gosh, that was so good, it reminds me of The Cure. And I was like, man, I was trying to write something poppy. And they both sang theirs, which were so superior to mine. And I don't know. Yeah, so if I could separate what I've learned and who I am, things, it would open up the ability to create.
Yeah. It's just interesting because that's so much of yourself out there because of the books, the fashion, the clothing, the music. I mean, that's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of me.
It's a lot of you.
Yeah, it's a lot of me. And I don't have a problem with that, obviously. Obviously I enjoy it or I wouldn't do it.
Right.
But all I was saying is that if I could separate that at times, not completely, I wouldn't want to separate it completely. That's not what I was saying.
Yeah.
I would feel very strange about that, by no means. But if I could, in addition, write something from a different perspective, but, you know, our sense of identity drives everything we do.
Yeah.
Of course.
And you know, I have a podcast, I have a radio show, I put 2 books out there, and so myself is in there, but, you know, you have such a long-standing legacy. I mean, it's quite impressive that you've been able to keep your career going for that length of time. Like, you see so many artists come and go, and I mean, just AFI has been around for
6, 7,
yeah,
8.
I was going to say 28.
Is it 28 years? Yeah, I think it's
Ish.
is it 28 years at this point, Taylor?
And that's kind of...
I don't know. Oh, 28 years.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, 28. Thank you. I mean, I'm so grateful to be, and I say this oftentimes in interviews, but it's really genuine. I mean, to be sitting here with you and wanting to talk to me, and, you know, to have people calling in and wanting to talk to me at this point about something, and to have some sort of impact on their life with things that I create that I would be creating anyway. Especially with the novels, I feel so lucky and privileged that people read my books.
Right.
You know, they're reading them only because they like me.
That's right.
You know, it's not, I'm not, they're not on TV, they're not being published by a big publisher, there's no movie connected to it. So they're reading a book, and people don't want to read a book, you know that, Doctor.
They do not read
I mean,
anymore.
no one wants to read a book
I
at
do
all.
know that.
So to have,
That's right.
like, anyone, let alone thousands of people, read something I wrote that is a novel length, so touching.
What do you attribute the longevity to? Do you have a working theory, or is it just that you keep producing what people want?
I don't know how to produce what people want. I mean, I think a lot goes into the longevity. As far as AFI goes, as a band, honestly, all of us not participating in, the majority of us not participating in recreational drug use plays a lot into
Okay.
it. I think you'll see a lot of people falling
It's
to
an interesting point. No
to
one ever
drug
really
use.
talks about it in that way.
Well, when you get to the foundation,
Sure.
like that's something that brought us together in a very distinct way. To be clear, I mean, our drummer doesn't drink or do drugs, and wasn't straight edge and did recreationally, but never to an extent that it impacted
Okay.
his desire and drive and his ability and his performance, and he never ever would have let it do that. So that's very important, and you know, those things not only affect your health and your performance, but they affect your relationships
That's
as
right.
well.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, there's twofold, which is, you know, why I live the way that I do and that I believe, you know, in what I believe in. So when you bring it back to its roots, that begins a very strong foundation. And our artistic similarities in the lineup of who AFI is now and has been for as long as most people view AFI as being AFI. I mean, I could go on forever.
We're going to take a little break, and when we come back, it's your last chance to ask Davey Havok any questions, so give us a call, 833-LOVE-001. You're listening to Loveline with Dr. Chris on the new channel Q and radio.com. Davey Havok, what's going on?
Nothing, just chilling with you guys.
All right. What do you got? So what do you want to ask Davey?
I want to ask you, Davey, when you tune to Colorado, what is your favorite thing about us?
What the show? I mean, hands down, the audience in Colorado is vibrant. I mean, from the first time I ever played in Denver to the last time I played in Denver, which was very recently with Black Audio, the crowds have been very elevated every time. I don't like the air because the city is also very elevated, and I tend to crack on stage. So forgive me, Colorado, but really, really enjoy playing there.
And I enjoy seeing you. I've been to almost every one of your shows, AFI and Block Audio.
Wow, that's a lot. That's 28 years of shows. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to be 37, so it's easy.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have an awesome
I look
night.
up to you. You saved my life. I love you, Davey.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for
Okay,
calling.
thanks.
It's time for DMs, Davey. We had to go.
Let's get into
That's
it.
good. Oh, we got another call. I guess
We got another call? Okay.
We're gonna. Hey, you're on with Davey Havok, Dr. Chris. How are you? Hello,
Hello.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Hi.
Hi, Aaron.
I didn't know I was actually going to do this. Hi, how's it going?
I've been there, Aaron. Sometimes you just got to go through with it, or it's rude.
You got Davey waiting, Aaron. Come on.
sorry.
No, Aaron, what's up?
First, love you.
Thank
Follow
you.
you on everything. See you all the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've met you a couple times now, me and my wife, so.
Thank you.
So I have a question. You can answer. You don't have to answer.
Okay.
It
maybe.
could be personal. I don't know. Why did you black out your tattoos?
Oh, didn't like them. Always wanted black arms. That's it.
all that work just to cover it. Like,
Well, I mean, you know,
did you ever like it, or like it was a thing and you're like, oh,
that's the
I
case
messed
with
up?
any tattoos. It's all that work. It's all that work.
It's an evolution, like his music. Right?
Yes, I reached final form, and that final form is black.
And you can't go anywhere from there. I mean, that, you know. Yeah.
I am the charred remnants of what once was.
Oh my God.
So are you going to black out everything then, or just those?
Everything. What else are you referring to?
Your chest piece, your legs.
Oh, no, I really enjoy my legs. My friend is actually going to black my daggers tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow. But I think the rest will... There's a couple pieces that I would like to be black, but not covered. So my daggers are going to remain. They're just going to become black.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, guys.
Have an awesome night. All right, guess what? It's that time. We're going to be sliding into the DMs.
Sliding into the DMs.
Sliding into the DMs is brought to you by our friends at Trojan Condoms, because it's a big old sexy world, and we want you to explore with confidence. All right, Davey, are you ready? You got your doctor hat on?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
We wear hats?
Yes, we do.
Can we wear a scarf?
We can wear a scarf as well, buddy.
I got my
All
Dr.
right.
Chinos on.
I'll wear my Dr. Jenkos.
I got my Dr. Jenkins.
Throwback. All right.
Fresh jab.
Dear Dr. Chris and Dr. Havok, I am one of the few whose husbands left his wife for me. We've been together over 3 years now, but I cannot seem to shake the guilt and shame I feel for being the other woman. What can I do to forgive myself? To forgive him and move on? I want to be with him for life, and I'm certain he feels the same, but going out in public in his town where people know everything, it's impossible. We keep our heads low, we try not to be seen, and we basically feel incarcerated here. We don't participate in community functions, rarely go out to eat. Wow. Is there any way to get over it and forgive myself and be confident again? Please help. That's heavy.
Doc.
No, this is you, boo.
What?
What do you recommend?
This is me?
Yeah.
Leave town.
Clean, simple language.
Get out of town.
He's like, pack up and go.
Get out of town. I mean, it's, you know, I have a hard time with self-forgiveness, and if I've done something that I didn't feel comfortable with in the first place. You know, the fact that she feels guilt goes to show that she feels she has done something wrong. To assuage that guilt, is a difficult thing. I mean, because the person that is shaming you is yourself. So, Doc, can you help?
Yes, I'm sorry.
When yourself, well, the person that's shaming her is herself. She obviously participated in something that she initially felt uncomfortable with, that she felt was.
I'll say this. Some people land in their relationship and find love through various means. I don't. Where did the question go? I want to just look at this really quickly. So the husband left his wife for you. I don't know what was going on. I want to hold space for the possibility that maybe the husband's in a toxic relationship.
It'd be great.
It'd be really great. Not every relationship.
Because then we could say to you, like, well, he was miserable.
That's
the
right.
wife was miserable. He left a bad situation, and now he's in a good situation. So don't feel so bad.
Because when you say you're in a small town where everyone knows everything, I don't know how small of a rural town you're in, and maybe you actually do need to move because you've been together for over 3 years, and if the town you're living in, you're still getting held accountable to that. But right, if it's your own internal sense of shame, you got to go to therapy. Like, that's a couple's therapy issue.
Right. I mean,
if you're a couple and you guys are not having confidence in being out in the world together, that's got to be impacting you as a couple.
Right. And I think she mentioned us at some point in that, where he is uncomfortable as well. I mean, they're both mutually deciding to keep their heads down.
Couples
so
therapy.
they both feel this shame, and shame is a very caustic emotion.
It's one of the most toxic emotions we can have.
Give you cancer.
That's right.
Like meat and dairy. Loveline, Davey Havok.
I like you getting that little, pro-vegan plug in there.
I'll be here all night. You're on weekend, I'm not.
All right, we got
no
another
weekends
DM.
for me, Doctor.
Oh my God! Oh no, we got a caller. Okay.
No weekends for
We have
animals
Dina
in
on
the
the phone,
factory
yes.
farms either, Doc.
That's right. There's no peace for those screaming voices.
That's right.
Dina, you're on with Davey Havok. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What do you want to ask Davey?
I just wanted to ask you. First of all, I'm freaking out right now. Wow.
Deep breaths, Dina. I think the first girl I ever had a crush on when I was too young to have a crush on anyone was named Dina.
Dina, what city was this? Could this
Rochester,
be
New York.
Dina, are you from Rochester by any chance?
Dina.
Could this be Dina?
I'm
from Michigan.
I assure you this Dina has 17 children who might be calling in themselves, but not my children. I was too young.
Dina.
I was too young.
All right. So what's your
Way too
question,
young.
Dina? I thought we might be reuniting you with the original Dina, Davey. I'm kind of bummed out, but here we are.
It might have been Gina. Go on, Dina. I think it was Gina.
So who is the messiest person you know?
The messiest person I know? Messy.
Are you messy?
No, I'm actually not messy. I like to keep a tight ship, as the sailors say. Messiest person I know. To be honest, I think mess comes. You become aware of people's messes when you live with them, and I do not live with people.
Sure.
Luckily, the people that I have lived with have either been innately clean or had the fear of my wrath instilled upon them if they would leave their food.
Wow. Well, there it is, Dina.
I'm a wrathful person.
Dina, we gotta go. Say goodbye to Davey. Deep breaths.
Bye. Thank you so much for answering my question.
You're welcome, Dina.
All right, Davey, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me, Doc. It was great to be back.
DMs is presented by Trojan Condoms. It's a big old sexy world, so we want you all to explore with confidence.
I know you do.
We're going to have you back on again.
I'd love to be back.
Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll be back Monday. So that's right, it's Thursday. Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have an awesome weekend. We'll see you later.